How you doing, YouTube? Welcome to the latest episode of the Silver and Gold Stack Attack. As always, a quick thank you for taking some time out of your day to check out the latest video, and hell yeah, for being the best damn community here on YouTube, without a doubt. Alright, so I'd venture to say that everyone watching this video right now has seen gold and silver prices both hit record highs in the past week or so. Gold topped out at over $4,000 an ounce, and silver hit that magical $50 plateau after kind of struggling for decades to get there. Now, we all know what caused the silver price spikes in the past. It was manipulation in 1980 and partly quantitative easing in 2011, which sparked concerns of inflation and currency debasement. But here in 2025, I don't know. We're faced with a lot of the same concerns from decades ago, to include inflation and a deflating dollar, but do you somehow get the feeling that things are different this time? I kind of do. Silver price today is really being driven by gold's upswing, we know that. And an uptick in industrial consumption versus a declining above-ground supply. And now we can throw in renewed investment demand into the mix. I think all of these factors indicate a much higher floor for silver going forward. $50 silver is an important resistance point, and it's great that we hit it. But it could also be an indictment of the dollar losing more and more purchasing power by the year. And that's exactly what led me into this video today. Is silver at $50 an ounce really all that? We've talked about it for years. We hypothesized what we would do if we ever got there and dreamed of potentially cashing out some, if not all, of our silver to take a profit. But let's hold that celebration for just a bit. This whole scenario got me thinking about whether or not $50 silver today is completely legit. I'm going to tell you right now, I have my doubts, and I'm about to tell you why. Make sure you stay tuned. So let's get right into it. First, we've got to understand the rarity of what we're seeing here in 2025, and we can do that by looking at this chart. You can clearly see the three spikes over the decades and the resulting dips for the first two. We're literally cruising in uncharted territory here. Unfortunately, this chart is a fantastic reminder of the volatility and stagnancy of silver price over the decades. The reality is it should have been priced higher years ago. I mean, it's ridiculously undervalued to begin with, and I think we can all agree on that. Now, think about it for a second. Silver is one of the few assets you can spend your money on that hit its all-time highs in price 45 years ago and 14 years ago, respectively, and it never got near it again until now. That's insanity. We experienced stagnancy with silver that just, made it for one long, boring ride, at least as far as making gains were concerned. Basically, we had years of little spikes and drops here and there with not a whole lot to go on. But anyway, the main reason I'm not impressed with $50 silver is right here. Yep, inflation, loss of purchasing power on the dollar. As you know, it's lost 90% of its purchasing power since 1913, and it's going to continue to do so until it's deemed absolutely useless. Sorry to say, that's just the reality of it. If history is any indicator, the dollar is already living on borrowed time. And with unprecedented levels of debt, massive money printing, and growing geopolitical instability, the question isn't if fiat currencies will fail, but when. Central banks have most definitely recognized this risk. You think they're stockpiling gold at record levels just to have it sitting around? Let me explain a little bit about what I'm talking about here, why I'm not impressed with $50 silver in 2025. So if we go back to 1980, $50 would equate to right around $196 in 2025. And we are nowhere near that price per ounce today. Fast forward to 2011, $50 back then would equate to around $72. Closer, but still not in the ballpark. So by the metrics, even at $50 silver here in 2025, we still haven't legitimately hit those quote-unquote all-time highs when it comes to the amount. Let's face reality, $50 just doesn't mean much or go very far these days with the economy. So what does all this tell me? And again, this is just my opinion. Well, it tells me two things. One, the dollar continues to tank damn near every year. And two, silver is still grossly undervalued. Even with these record highs we're seeing today. Don't be fooled by smoke and mirrors. Don't be fooled. That fancy $50 price tag, yeah, it's great. It's a resistance point that's crucial for silver price to continue to grow. And it looks impressive. It really does. But in reality, and to put it simply, we haven't truly matched those previous record highs after factoring inflation into the equation. Again, $50 today just ain't what it used to be. But as for right now, yeah, $50, it's an important milestone. But we are miles away from the actual record highs when we do the math. Silver should be priced higher, folks, and I think that we're going to see that sooner rather than later.
What you talking about, Lucy?
Now, I know that was kind of a negative look at something that should generally be conceived as positive. I just like to look at all sides of every equation. $50 silver is definitely an important milestone. There's no question. But it took a hell of a long time to get here. Now, today things are different. It's not market manipulation and speculation driving up the price of silver like it was back in 80, or quantitative easing again in 2011. But there are still some parallels to both of those years in comparison to today, like economic fear and uncertainty. Plenty of investors have fear of major economic problems and stock market declines. There's no question about that. And that can bring more investors to silver as they potentially, emphasis on potentially, see it as the next, best safe haven as they're getting priced out of gold. And let's face it, gold has surpassed levels that have driven some stackers away from it. And they've even slowed down on buying silver since the price went over $45 an ounce. Investors are reacting the same way to gold's price explosion as well, and they're looking for the next best thing. I do think both metals will hit a correction in the fairly near future, where we'll see a dip, but after that, look out. Silver and gold could absolutely hit the highway and never look back. Like everything else, we'll see, right?
Price is right, Happy.
Oh yeah, sorry.
It happens.
Alright, so let's close out this video by going over 4 reasons that $50 silver, despite my reservations, is still a good thing. Number 1, it's a psychological barrier that's been broken. Let's face it, $50 has long been considered an important resistance point, and we've finally broken it. And now we just have to wait to see where it all leads to. Number 2, it stimulates investment demand. The gold to silver ratio is the lowest it's been in over a year so far, and that could be an indicator of shifting investor sentiment. Let's face it, people are talking about metals. It's in the media. It's being talked about all over the place. And investors are responding. Number 3, market psychology. Once a long-standing resistance level is breached, especially ones with historical significance like the $50, market psychology can potentially shift dramatically. And that draws new investors into the silver market. So that's a good thing. Number 4, lastly, it ignites long-term potential. $50 could confirm that investors are piling into tangible assets at this point, and that's a critical point in the market, and it could create an evolving market with new investment opportunities. In other words, if you're holding silver, all 4 of these points are good for us. All right. There you have it, guys. So one important thing that's pretty cool to note, silver prices actually outperform gold in 2025. Believe it or not total price-wise per ounce, but percentage-wise. I think silver's had a 70-something% increase, while gold is hovering around a 50-something% increase. I don't have the exact numbers, but with the lower price and the GSR dropping to its lowest point in over a year, silver is going to look really good to investors. That's just the way it is. And again, we can expect a correction on both metals here shortly. It's coming. I mean, there's nothing we can do about it. It's coming. So what do you guys think of my thought process on $50 silver not being that big a deal? At least not yet. While inflation kind of kills the glory of it all, it's still an insanely important resistance point that's been breached. So anything can happen at this point, right? Anyway, be sure to leave a comment down below and let me know. You guys know I love going through them, so make sure you sound off. And that's going to wrap it up for this episode of the Silver and Gold Stack Attack. Have you made it this far? Well, kudos to you. I'm just as shocked as you are. I'll definitely catch up with you in the next episode. But in the meantime, ooh yeah, you know what's up.
What do you want to do with your life?
I want to stack. Damn right. Get stacked. Stay safe and be well, everyone. And be sure to catch me on my silver journey this Wednesday at 8:30 for Stacker's Corner. We'll have more details about the St. Jude's auction. It's so far so good. We're looking pretty good. And if you need a link, just look into my post. But until then, I am out of here. Peace, folks. Have a fantastic week ahead. See you on Wednesday.
You still here? It's over. Go home.
go.